Well, hello and welcome to today, Sunday, May 18th, 2025. I am here back by popular demand. I've had a few people throughout the week and last week asking when I was coming on to do another live where I would be on here a little bit longer than just a few minutes or a half an hour. Sorry about the small little portion of time that I was able to spend with you guys last week. It was Mother's Day. There was a lot going on. Yeah, and there's just been a lot going on in my life. It definitely has been quite a roller coaster, but in beautiful ways. So, how about that Scorpio full moon that we just had, eh? Let me know in the comments. Has it stirred up some stuff that was hiding just underneath the surface for you, like it has for almost every single person that I know, including myself? I'm going to have some channeled messages very soon here on with guidance on how we can work with what's been coming up to the surface because almost everybody wants to have that knee-jerk reaction and hold everybody else accountable for how they're feeling, and that's kind of the underlying root cause of the disturbance, where we have the opportunity here to realize that our feelings belong to us and it's our responsibility to self-regulate and self-manage and do our best to stop projecting how we feel onto another person, making it their fault. So before I get into any more of that, I am being guided to do a little sage burn to cleanse the sacred space, including myself. So just those of you that are with me right now, hello, Jennifer. Just take a few moments, close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Allow this sage, even though it's energetic for you, to wash over your head, your face, your shoulders. Bring some into your heart. Cleanse your energy, your auric field. And allow the sacred energy of the divine to come and permeate your body and your space, no matter where you are. Trusting that a purification and a harmonization will take place. Oh, what a beautiful smell this is. All right. You're very welcome. Yes. So, like I've said many times in the past, and again, I just am regurgitating, if you will, the same messages that keep getting reminded to me because our humanness tends to, revert back to the old way of doing, thinking, and feeling in that old energy because it's familiar, it's easy, even though it might not be healthy for us. It's the default, right? And what we're learning right now with these new energies is how to recognize the default. So they're saying recognize when you're in that state of disconnect with a bigger picture, which is ego, right? For those that haven't heard me say this, ego is an acronym. And I heard this from, I want the name to come up. Oh, he's widely known. Works very closely with Louise Hay in the Hay House. This is the perimenopausal brain, and that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Names want to come and go, and he's probably going to pop into my mind when I least expect it, which is fine. But I was watching a webinar of his, and I believe it was an interview he was having with Abraham Hicks, actually. And he was talking about the ego, or he came up with the ego thing acronym shortly after this webinar. But the ego, in short, stands for edge God out. So this is really good for me to understand, and how I help other people understand is this is how you can learn how to self-regulate, or at least see, witness yourself and where you're operating from a place of alignment or misalignment. So an ego would be misalignment because it's not trusting a bigger picture, hooked up to that higher guidance, if you will. The heart's most likely shut off because we'll have doubts. We'll be sitting in an energy of fear and just feel very disempowered, right? When we're aligned with our higher power, however or whatever that looks like for you, we don't feel fear. We don't feel disempowered. We aren't triggered by anybody and everybody else who might be having a bad day and seems to be projecting their hoocha onto you. When you're good and you're solid in your own energy, managing yourself, knowing, okay, somebody's having a bad day, that ain't mine, I ain't taking it on, then you're unstoppable, right? You're self-regulating to the degree of mastery. And okay, the trains are honking away here. So this is where this new energy is that we have. It is literally permeating through everything, including us right now, because we're on this evolution, right? We're ascending, if you will, energetically, but that's going to end up changing things, right? We don't get to say and do the same things as we used to. I mean, we can if we choose to, but we're just, if you keep doing and saying the same things over and over, expecting a different result, we already know this. That's insanity. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And where does the change start? Within. Don't point a finger to anyone or anything outside yourself. So I'm in full channel mode, by the way, you guys, if you haven't noticed. This is direct. My crown is so tingly and wide open right now. So we are yeah, we are the ones that we have been waiting for. We have to be the change we're looking for. Literally, when we shift our mindset, and therefore your energy will shift, then the experiences that we have outside of ourselves match that. Everything's energy, frequency, and vibration. Shift your energy and you shift your life. They're saying it is that simple. Kelly says, not my monkey, not my circus. 100%. But if you're getting caught up in somebody else's circus, right, then there's something misaligned within the self, which we're just giving our power away and not realizing it in that moment. And I'm not saying any of this to like point the fingers, say, oh, it's all your fault. That's not what I'm saying. And that's how the ego's going to hear it. So if that's how you're hearing it, check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? And don't shoot the messenger. These messages are for all of us to learn how to master thyself, not anybody or anything else outside of self. And we all lead by example. So take a deep breath with me here. Okay. Breathe in for the count of 4, hold for the count of 4, and then on that exhale, make it a little bit longer and count to 6. Okay. So start now. Breathe in. Hold. And out. Let's do it again. In. Hold. And out. One more time. In. Hold. And out. Now just take a regular breath. Breathe all the way in and sigh it out. That feels better. These are the simplest tools that we have, no matter where we are and what's going on, that we can get back to regulating our own nervous system, calm the mind, calm the body, right? These mastery tools they live within you. They were never, ever taken away from you, despite what others may have said or did to make you believe otherwise. So this is all about taking back your power, realizing that it's always been there and that you can literally resurrect yourselves. Just by initiating that, setting that intention. Setting the intention is the initiation back into your own sovereignty, your own personal power. And then you can start blasting away and letting go of the things that no longer serve you. You can let go of the past. Ooh, Jennifer's been seeing visions lately. Very cool. You're not the only one. I mean, a lot of my psychic abilities have been amping up myself. And with every course and class that I teach, either the self-mastery journey of Pop on the Seven Seas or the psychic development, with every single class that I teach, there's like another layer, another expansion that also happens within me, because I'm going through the exact same process, right? Telepathy. So telepathy, you guys, all humans have this. And it's been on the whole time. We've just been conditioned, especially in the Western world, to doubt ourselves. We've been taught and believed that our thoughts are our own, that what we think and what we hear aren't connected to other things, and they absolutely are. Fine-tuning this gift to figure out, okay, well, what are my thoughts, and what are the higher power or spirit thoughts? What are the thoughts coming from animals, right? It's all telepathy. And we all have it. A good friend of mine that's in here right now made me realize, or helped me realize, I had my aha moment last night in casual conversation. I was like, wow, I wish I had that gift as well. And I'm like, wait a second, why am I believing that I don't? Because there's that human conditioning too, overcomplicating things, thinking, oh no, my gifts only reside in this box over here. And so I heard myself when I was typing the message out, like, I just got to figure out how to transfer how I do this here to here. And then I heard spirit go, you are? And I was just like, oh my God. Okay, thank you for that. I am. I was just doubting it. Again, ego, edging myself out of that alignment. The ego is very tricky. It's a trickster energy, right? Heyoka, as those that know the Native American culture. Heyoka, trickster energy, very ego, very much ego. And don't get me wrong, ego has a place, because that aspect of ourself is built in. That program is built in to keep us safe from danger, to help keep us alive. But we've been misaligned and misusing that. We've allowed the ego to be driving the bus, and we'll keep running into walls. Learning the hard way. I've done it myself, 100%. So I've had to humble myself quite greatly, and I do my best to try to pass on through my life lessons by sharing with those that have the ears to hear, and are ready to learn from these things. And, by sharing what's happened with me sometimes helps other people go, oh, that sounds very similar to, me and what I had happen over here, even though the happenstances of things are different. The learning is all the same. That's usually how shamans teach. Yeah. And how shamans get taught is by having the personal experiences. You can't just read about it in a book and then you know it. Nope. You have to live it. Yeah. All right. So I've got the Ascended Masters. Does anybody have, actually, they're telling me to ask you right now, before I pull cards for the collective, anything about what I just shared and what was just being channeled for everybody, is there anything that you would like a little more clarity on? They're also saying, open the floor. If you have any added guidance to get channeled through yourself, please share it. And go. Meanwhile, I will start pulling the cards to go over those additional messages of guidance for the collective. Yeah, trickster. Oof, cool. Yeah. And Jennifer, you're not the only one. And it tests us all because it wants to be in the driver's seat. And if you haven't experienced what some people have coined the term dark night of the soul, that's like having a perceived ego death. And it can be actually a very painful process on an emotional and mental level, because that aspect of ourself believes it's the only real part of itself. Like it's really attached to its identity. And when it's like getting ready to take a back seat or even just shuffle over into the passenger seat and the higher self comes in, it thinks it's dying. It literally thinks it's dying. And so for the person going through it, I know I've gone through it on more than one occasion, but that very first one was so flippin' scary. I honestly thought I was going to die every single night that I went to sleep. I figured, no, I'm going to sleep. That's going to be it. I'm not waking up the next morning. And then on day 3, because the third night, I'm like, okay, this has to be it. Like, and it was bad. I was bawling my eyes out for 3 days, like rock bottom. And then that third night, I went to bed and I woke up that next morning and I could not believe it. I couldn't believe I was still alive. I was convinced I was dead. And then that was when I started to hear that higher guidance on a whole nother level. And it was actually, the first thing I heard was, you need to go home now. And I thought, what? Because I was staying at my mom's. It was that bad. I needed to be around my mom because I didn't know what was wrong with me. And then the first thing after, I'm like, I can't believe I'm alive. Like, what the heck? And then the first message I get before I even got out of bed was, you need to go home now. And it was urgent. Like I knew within every fiber of my being, I had to get home. So I asked my mom, okay, I can't even have breakfast or my coffee. Like I need to go home right now. There's something not right. So I go home and I get there and go into the kitchen, and there's a pan that's been left on the stove cooking peas that were, I swear, maybe 2 minutes away from catching fire. Yes. So my ex was very intoxicated, and he had started to cook something and then went down into the basement and passed out cold. I couldn't even wake him up. And I had 2 minutes to spare. It was wild. And it was in that moment that I was like, okay, we're done. We're done. And I sat down at the table and I wrote him an eviction notice. And then I gave my notice to move out of the place that I did not want to have to move out of, but I knew I had to do this for myself. It was time to make a clean break and not look back, finally. So the reason I'm sharing all that again is because there was these things that have to happen in our lives where it feels like we're breaking to the point where we're not going to recover from. And the ego's just making things, bigger than they actually are. When we do get over it, when we come out on the other side, we're literally, it's like the rebirthing of a new you, the shedding of the old skin, and you coming into this higher aligned power within you. And you remember, that you do have the strength, that you are going to carry on. Man, if that didn't just kill me, like I must be okay. I'm going to do this. And it was the best thing I ever did. Got me to where I am here today. I'd do it all over again. I'd rather not, but I would in order to get here. I mean, it is what it is. I know I don't have to because we're already here. So it's all good. Yeah. Well, thank you, Donna. How are you, love? It has been such a long time since we've been able to catch up. Yeah, Jennifer. Jennifer, I'm pretty sure if my memory is serving me properly, you have a free reading with me. So let's hook up and set something up for this coming week if you're able to. Yeah, they're telling me like just let's do this. You'll get the support you need, love. You don't need to do it on your own. Okay. So the messages that we have for the collective that are coming through the cards, I've got the Ascended Masters Oracle, my trusted Ascended Masters, from Doreen Virtue. I'm also working with, it's called the, let me just double check this, the Ethereal Visions Tarot Luna Edition. And we're also working with the Enchanted Map Oracle. That one's by Colette Baron Reid. Oh, and sorry, the Ethereal Visions Tarot is by Matt Hughes. So, for those of you that might be watching this down the road, I know everybody else that's watching right now, I believe, already knows how I work. I have pulled one card from each of those three decks. And those cards that I pull are representing the third dimension or our physical reality. Okay. What remains at the bottom of the deck is a sneak peek into like a bigger picture. It's a higher guidance message, spiritual message, or 5D message. However you want to connect with that, but it's pertinent to all of those things. So I got 3 messages connecting to help us with guidance in our physical reality, aka 3D, and then 3 more messages connecting for guidance, connecting us with our spirit and 5th dimension. So first, from the Ascended Masters in the 3D, we got drink more water. So And they're saying to like not just drink more water, but drink it with intention. So literally get your water, put your hand over it, right? And say love, strength, harmony, peace, whatever you want to be inside of you, put it in there with your intentions, with your hand, or just say the words, I love you. You're healthy. You're happy. Right? You are what you drink, what you eat. Like put good things into that which you are putting into your body. So I'm hearing it's very important to replenish with water. And they're really saying like flavored water, even though you're getting more water into, you got to be careful because that flavored water can have other additives in it, taking away from the purity. And there's something very sacred about this message right now. It's like time to purify your body simplicitly. Train your body how to connect with water in a more sacred way. Feel it. Take a moment to feel it fill your mouth and feel it go down your throat. Feel it go down your chest and get into your stomach, right? What's the word? I'm hearing like be in reverence with it, like make that sacred connection with it and give gratitude for the nourishment that it gives you. We are made up of almost 80% water, so it is so important that we are nourishing ourselves with enough water each and every single day. Not only that, work with water in a more sacred way, like I just showed you, but also when you're taking showers and having baths, right? Intend for your energy, not only your physical body to be cleansed and purified, but your mental body, your emotional body, and your spiritual body. Do it all, right? The water can do that. Then another message that they're giving me right now is that more water in the system is going to help you integrate these new higher frequencies that are helping shift out what no longer serves us. So we're not supposed to be getting reactive to what's coming up to the surface. We're like supposed to, they're saying, here goes the crown again. Yeah. Adapt that childlike curiosity for what's coming up and ask yourself, how do we move through this? Instead of allowing yourself to do the knee-jerk old way of reacting. Okay? Step into that higher power within yourself and play with what's coming up. Water's going to help you in a more purified way, not a diluted way. That was interesting. Then we got the King of Swords. Look at all the sage that's burning. I love it. Yeah, I almost want to get more sage going. Not I almost, I do, so I am. There we go. More sage for the King of Swords. Hey, for those of us Librans, this is one of our cards where we're becoming more balanced within that divine masculine energy. This represents air, so more analytical, right? But the divine masculine is not just about air, right? It's balanced in all of the elements. Okay, so they're saying this week, if these messages are pertaining to us for this week or however long, really, there's no limits or boundaries. Learn from the water. It is sacred, right? Learn from the water. Let it teach you, right? But also be open more to the possibilities of something new, of a greater understanding beyond what our old selves has been taught and or believed. It's time to open up, and there's just so much purification taking place, right? So instead of judging a situation, of being negative, flip the switch on that. I heard something different. I'm not going to say it. Flip the switch on that and ask how this can work for you. What can, you know, what can you do to make it better? Oh, and then the last message, these three, again, we're in the third dimension, our physical reality. Look at this, magic prayer. Ask and you shall receive. And guys, everything is in the questions that you ask yourself. If we keep asking, why does this keep happening to me? Or I know my favorite was, I'm sorely misunderstood. I'm actually starting to, allow myself to be okay with that. It can actually be a good thing if people keep underestimating me, for sure. And it doesn't matter if people understand me. If I know who I am and I'm good with that, that's all. At the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. Our tribe, our people, if they're having a hard time understanding and they want to get to understand, let them come to you and ask for it. You don't try to force it down people's throats, right? So magic prayer is all about like ask and you shall receive. You set these intentions for yourself and then follow through with the opportunities that come, because the universe is always supporting us. There was a message that came through during the week last week with a group that I am connected with. And they're amazed when they're in this really good place and feeling how, like how amazing it is to be in alignment with that love, that self-love. And then you feel that love with the relationship that you have with the higher power, right? But then there's this misunderstanding, that when we're not in that alignment, things are supposedly going bad, how it's absolutely miserable, and that it was then perceived and judged that you're not being supported. But I was like, but yeah, you are, because wherever you're operating from, the universe is unbiased. It's going to support you exactly where you are. And if you're not in a good place, it's just going to support that. And this is what we're supposed to be learning, or at least not supposed to. I know we're not supposed to use that word, not supposed to, but if we're on this path of evolution and self-mastery, it's up to us to realize where we're misaligned and when we're misaligned, and then do the course correct. And when you need help, you ask for it, right? Testing what we can handle. Well, yeah, but we're testing ourselves, really, because we are a direct link to the power of all that is. We're not, the separation that we experience and we see is an illusion, and when we buy and sell into that illusion as truth, then it creates a lot of distortion. But I swear to God, it's just meant for us to realize, oh, wait a second, that was just an illusion. I'm not disconnected from this power within myself. Everything I've ever needed has been right here this whole time. And then stepping into that power and working with that energy, continuing to remind myself, that's a daily, lifelong journey. But only one that I can step into for myself and you can step into for yourself. It's not up for anyone else to get you there, right? But when you ask, you get. And your vibration, your energy, that's why it's so important for us to understand self-management with energy, because you're attracting what you're vibing at. And if we don't like what we're vibing at, we need to change internally that internal vibration in order to attract something different. That was full circle from the beginning channel. I like it. So that's on a physical level. Let's bump up to the spiritual. From the Ascended Masters, we got Lady Nada. So this card in the spiritual aspect represents that divine feminine energy. Talk about balance. We have the divine masculine energy we are mastering in the 3D. Here's the divine feminine in 5D, right? Trusting that higher power. You see the halo? Oh man, that's pretty much all I can see. Well, and the roses on this card are literally jumping out at me. So being in alignment with that higher power within ourselves, the divine feminine, which is also, aligned and balanced with all the elements in every aspect of ourselves. This is what's overseeing, and it's in direct connection, sitting above the drink more water, right? To be more fluid, to purify more, to go with the flow more, we need to embrace that higher aspect of the divine feminine within our hearts and flow. The second message in the bigger picture, 5D, we got the moon, right? The moon, see how this woman is reflecting, right? The divine feminine is very creative, very nurturing. So, and this is, we will, she's sitting above, look at that, divine, there's feminine again. The moon is feminine energy, sitting above the divine masculine energy of the King of Swords. This is balance, right? Self-reflection, self-management is the key to the harmony we're all seeking, right? And then the last message, we got the spark. Sitting above magic prayer. The spark within us is coming from that divine feminine aspect that has been shut down and suppressed and repressed for Lord knows how long. But the balance is coming back into play here. And it's not to overpower, like go from one extreme to another. It's to bring balance back. And not outside of ourselves. Again, this is just an inside job. What we do inside, everybody, will be reflected on the outside. Right? But that spark is who we are. So they want me to read from that one. Spark. On my Facebook page, I will take pictures of all of these and the full write-up from the book and post. So there'll be more information. You guys can go and find it and read more if you need and feel the calling. So the spark says, you are a clear channel for divine creativity. We all are. We're not separated from that spark. There is a spark of creativity in you, and you have every reason to move forward with optimism and hope. Open yourself to inspiration and allow life to show you its beauty and your part in creating it. This is the perfect time to give birth to an idea, start a new relationship or job, or begin any endeavor. Attraction is high as you connect with others who can co-create joyous experiences and join with you in expressing the finer aspects of life. Watching a spark turn into a flame and stoking that fire is a very gratifying activity. No doubt. So we can make magic happen in our lives, but it's up to us to take ownership of self and This is the guidance on how to do it. Connect with the water, connect with the divine feminine. Allow yourselves to shift into the light of who you are. Yes. I love that. Capital letters from Jennifer. Sweet. All right, I better take a picture of these before I start shuffling and using cards for your guys' personal messages. Now, if you guys do have any specific personal questions you would like to post up, and by the way, I've noticed people can ask questions, and then after I've read them for you, you can go back and delete them if you don't want them up for anybody else. Although I would like for you to consider leaving them, just because your question might be the same question as somebody else's and the message given might be helpful. But again, use your own intuition. Trust what feels right for you. If you need to delete it, go for it. Just wanted to put that out there. All right. So you can write your questions out if you have specific questions, or if you would like just a general message, you can always just type in, please tell me what I need to know. And send that comment over to me. Hi, Tara. Are you still here too? We got Tara, we got Darla, we got Kelly, we got Jennifer. All right, Jennifer, what do you need to know? Okay, it's interesting. I got to pull 3 cards from this and 1 from the Enchanted Map. I'm going to do that for everybody. Cool. What does Jennifer Foreman need to know? Please and thank you. Oh, it was a jumper. We're taking it. Metamorphosis. Whew. You are going through it. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to start with the bottom of the deck of the Ascended Masters. Now, I pulled 3 cards for you, but what remains at the bottom of the deck is that Empath card. And when this one shows up, lets me know, no matter what position it shows up, that you're bogged down with energy that does not belong to you. Okay, so it's very, very important. First message of guidance from your higher self: clear and shield your energy, right? Do whatever it takes. And now they're bringing me back to that first message for the collective that we all had. How you can do this: work with water in a more sacred way. Okay, purify yourself. Drink enough water that you're flushing impurities out. That you're physically cleansing, but not just physically cleansing, emotionally cleanse. Mentally cleanse and spiritually cleanse as that shower is washing over you. I would even recommend like a Reiki session with a practitioner, or if you know how to do that yourself. Right. So now dropping down into the 3 messages. First one up, you got choose peace. Okay, so there might be something in connection to somebody in your life where there's a butting of heads, there's difference of opinions, differences of perceptions. Okay. When this card comes up, it's like This is not a time for you to prove that you're right and they're wrong, or vice versa, right? It's important to understand sometimes you're both right based on your vantage point, right? And it's just because you're at two different areas, and you see things differently. There's nothing wrong with that. And I want to say that it could be connected to something of the past, because this is the first card and in the past position. So maybe understanding that you have been in a situation similar where, you don't see eye to eye with someone, you realize, okay, well, to each is their own. We don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree, right? So you let go of that tug of rope and move on, right? So choosing peace over a situation, and that is how you can give yourself what you need right there, right? Will help you clear your energy in order to be able to stay more focused on what really matters right here, right now. Okay. So, and of course, with stay focused, this message, Kuthumi, he's like, um, you can lovingly say no to other people's demands of your time if it's not in alignment with where you are and what you need to be doing. Just because we say no to somebody does not mean that we don't care. It doesn't mean, all these expectations that sometimes other people put on us, but sometimes we're putting expectations on ourselves that we believe the other people have, creating a whole lot of mental instability going on there, right? So free yourself from that mental slavery if that's the case, right? Don't do things that don't feel right if they're not yours. And then moving forward, everything is a learning opportunity, an opportunity to learn. And with the teacher card here too, I also hear when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So if you are looking to further your education in some form, like doing some schooling or whatnot, you are currently working on how to be more focused and ready to start this new course. Or maybe you're stepping into more of a teacher role too, getting ready to pass the baton. Okay. Now, you got metamorphosis. So this is telling me you're really going through the ringer. And I'm sorry. I know I don't mean to laugh. Like, I'm not making fun of you. I'm just trying to make it a little bit lighter for you if I possibly can. Because like I said, the ego will make it worse than it actually is for ourselves. And sometimes if we just realize that and understand that, it can help lighten things up. So the metamorphosis card is they're just showing me just like the butterfly, right? And a metaphor for us with our evolution, and change from season to season and one stage of life to the next is like an old aspect of self has to come to an end, and then we step into these new versions of ourselves. So it's like the metaphor of the butterfly, where it starts out as a caterpillar, and then when it's ready to become a butterfly, it has to go make itself cocooned in this chrysalis and what is it? I want to say deprogram pretty much, but it's dissolving itself into nothing, into this soup, in order to restructure and regrow into something completely different than what it was. We're very much like that. It just shows up in different ways. So please know it's a good card because it's letting you know you're on that path to become the butterfly. You're about to be able to spread your wings. That's what all this has been for. On the bottom of the deck of this one, you got Dragon's Lair. Dragon energy is very powerful, my friend. And I'm hearing like these can be allies of yours as well. Like if you connect with the dragon energy, which is much higher dimensional and vibrational energy, raise your vibration, connect with them, ask them for that help, that courage. And they're telling me to read this one because it's in the spiritual self and it's going to help you clear and shield your energy as well. 19. You are always protected and divinely directed. Wow. You have a remarkable internal warning system that lets you know when things are out of alignment. Again, if we're worried, if we're in fear, we're in ego. That's misaligned. Right? When we're in alignment with that higher power, we know everything happens for a reason and for a greater good. There's nothing to fear. There's no doubt to have. Right? You're about to enter dangerous territory, so tread carefully and be aware of your surroundings. The path you're on now is one that will challenge you to your core. That said, peril is also exciting and exhilarating, like the danger you feel before you enter a new relationship, knowing that you'll be changed forever. A life lived fully isn't lived only in safety. A new experience is calling to you, one that will test your courage. The choice is yours, but there is greater value in risk. There is greater value in risk taking than remaining unchallenged. New territories are waiting to be discovered. And I want to say for everyone that's listened to this, that higher self message for her is also for us because it's in that higher self and we're all intricately connected in that space of one that all that is. We're all one in that higher perspective. Yeah. Okay. So, and I think I said mini reading for you, Jennifer. It's turning into a half-hour session. And when we do that on Zoom, it gets recorded so that you'll have all the information that gets channeled from me. And then the additional messages that get emailed to you with the pictures of all the cards that end up getting used. Oh, that's exactly what you came here to do, is rise. And you will. You are. You're very welcome. All right, let's see. My gosh, Kelly. I mean, everything is screaming yes. I'm going to pull 3 cards holding that question. Kelly's question. Purchase. Tap it. Make it. Oh. Interesting. Cool. Okay. So at the bottom of the deck with the Ascended Masters, Power of Joy. So I don't know if that didn't scream yes to you as it does to me. This is the most highest of vibrations messages that are in this deck, the Power of Joy. And then the additional message of guidance, we got encouragement. So that's also extremely positive, right? The first of the three messages in the physical here, we got listen. So I'm hearing, of course, listen to that intuition. If it feels right, it is. If it doesn't, it's not. It is not ever any more complicated than that. Okay? So listen. Next one, fertility. In the present moment, this is sing your dreams into reality. The universe is poised and ready to make those dreams happen. New creations, new ideas are going to be birthed. You already know this. So this is just being validated, right? But Pan, the things, the music that he creates, the songs that he sings get sung into creation, right? They get manifested into reality. So that's that new energy. Absolutely. And then moving forward, we got crystals. Another very positive, higher vibing card, because this is like connecting. Oh, look at not just with unicorns, but horses, the animals, the elements. All I get is, ah! Oh, wow. And then encouragement. They want me to read this one. 54 from the book. And that is 54. You are receiving a nudge in the right direction. I love it. I love what I do and do what I love. This card tells you that you're being gently encouraged to step into your power, into the dream of your life. New things are out there to be explored, and the nurturing power of the universe is giving you a nudge in the right direction. You will get the help you need and won't be alone in your quest. Every step you take right now is supported by the wisdom of the universe. You're on the right path. Keep going. Oh my gosh. And then at the bottom of the deck, we got cleaning house. So, getting rid of all the things that, oh my gosh, and hiding right underneath that, home. That just blew my mind. I don't think I need to read any more about that. Woo! That's getting me all giddy. Very cool. Very, very cool. Right? Let's do this. Okay. All right. Now we have. I'm going through the comments of everybody on here, so trying to get everybody in the right order. Darla is next. So just in case, Sandy, if you're still here, I am getting to you very soon here. And by the way, these replays will be up. So if for whatever reason you're not here when I'm reading for you, you can always come back and watch the replay, because I will get to you, I promise. My pleasure, Kelly. Okay. Darla. General. Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay, Darla, for your reading, I'm going to start with the bigger picture with the two decks here. So King Solomon has shown up with the Ascended Masters for you. You are currently learning how to reprioritize your life. And what I hear is that there are things that you might still be doing, thinking that they're still important right now when they were important back then, right? So, learning how to get, based on what I can see here, there's a need to reorient the self. Okay, so I'm not sure what needs to be cleared out and what needs to be shifted. You'll have a better idea of that, and you will know. But this is a time like that last message in the bigger picture that I had for Kelly. Clean house, right? Again, remember those bigger picture, higher self messages are for everybody, no matter who I'm reading to. Okay. Um, so cleaning house, right? Which also means we're getting rid of what no longer works and then implementing new things that we've learned along the way that do work. The other message in the bigger picture for you is talisman. So this is understanding that you hold this little piece of magic in yourself because of the experiences that you've already gone through. Okay. And you're learning how to remember to do that. You're learning to remember how to do that. Those words almost didn't come out very clear because of this message, stuck in the mud. Right? But when we're stuck in the mud, it's not always necessarily a bad thing, especially when I'm looking at this elephant. I'm being reminded by spirit right now that sometimes the elephants go into the mud and roll around in it because it's so hot where they are that this is a form of cooling themselves down. Humans have a funny way of doing things to themselves in order to get them into a reality check, right? It's almost always done on a subconscious level. So give yourself some grace here. Okay. It does not help to allow the ego to go in and start beating yourself up for making the wrong choice or doing the wrong thing, because I don't believe we ever do. If we're learning a hard lesson, we were meant to learn it. If we weren't meant to learn it, then we would have chosen otherwise. So just be gentle with yourself, right? When we think we're stuck, it's an opportunity to learn how to get unstuck, because we are masters of our reality, whether we realize it or not. And when we start understanding that everything comes from within, then we can shift within, which gives us a different outcome. Now, they're also saying, what was it now? Your comment distracted me there. Oh, shoot. Okay. You're in a tornado watch right now. Uh-oh. You say, oh shit. Well, you could very well be like literally stuck because of that in situation, but it's always only temporary. That's what it is. Thank you. So we're only as stuck as we choose to believe we are. Right. And sometimes, well, no, actually, they're correcting me right now. The only problems that we have are believing they're problems. Let that one sink in. Okay. The three messages in your physical 3D of your guidance is there's purification in the past and what supports you from behind. So with that priorities, like you are learning how to get rid of what no longer serves you, whether it's on a physical level, mental level, emotional level and spiritual level. It's not either or just one of the four. It's something in all four, like the four pillars. When this card comes up, it's purification on all levels. So if there's room for improvement, for purifying, to help you open your heart a little bit more, in this present moment, you got follow your heart, right? But in order to really hear and understand and feel what the heart is saying, we have to clean our body, our minds, our bodies, our emotions, and with spiritual practices, right? And then moving forward, look at this. You got Archangel Michael. You can do it. So, and I want to say maybe the purification is really hitting home with having doubts about trusting your heart, because that's usually when he comes up. As you've heard me many times in the past, if you think you can, you will. If you think you can't, you won't. Either way, you're right. And that goes for everybody. That's how powerful you are. So just know that you get to choose. The choice is yours. But when Archangel Michael shows up for you, darling, start singing. I can and I will. 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 Elevate yourself, man. That shit works. Have fun. All right. Okay. No matter what's going on, it's temporary, and you are going to move through it. You can make it work for you because you have the tools to do so. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. All right, Tara. Tara. So weird, Tara. As I'm tapping into your energy, I know I'm not really channeling first with the private messages here, but I was feeling a lot of pressure in my forehead and just mostly up above my left eye. And then the trust card comes up right in the center. So I felt like there's this, maybe you're, let me know if you're feeling like a physical pressure in your forehead, headaches or something like that. It's like they're telling me there's something more within your connection that is ready to come online. So I hear surrender, like literally surrender to that. Have you ever tried to do automatic writing? Might be beneficial for you. Wow. Thank you for the validation, Darla. I love it. Cards were spot on. Whether you resonated with them or not. My pleasure, love. Okay, so everybody, here's a little free lesson for you. With automatic writing, just like journaling. But here, you open pressure. You do have pressure. Okay. So yeah, it's just like they're showing me spirits doing this. Knock, knock. Knock, knock. So maybe actually, yeah, they're saying, yeah, exactly. Tell her that. So do this, kind of gently tap. Okay, not hard, because that pressure is probably uncomfortable, but just lightly tap on it before you do the exercise I'm about to share with you. And this will be good for everybody. Tap the third eye. Set the intention. I am opening my channel to connect with my higher guidance. I am opening to connect as a channel with my higher guidance. I am opening to connect and channel my higher guidance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now grab a pen and a piece of paper. You don't have to do this right now, but write down a question that you would like to know. Hard for me to give you examples right now because I kind of want to just jump into your reading here. But anybody can do this. And the person that let me know, because I was in my head thinking, oh my God, like I don't know how to channel. I don't know how to do that. And plus I was scared shitless to just open myself up and let some who knows what come into my body and use my hand. Way overthinking things and watched way too many horror movies as a kid. No, we are spirit and we're connected. And as long as you set the intentions to connect with your higher guidance, then that's the only thing that you're going to be working with. You call the shots. It's very safe. And if you want to feel even safer, then light a white candle, right? Have some sage, do the things, right? To make yourself feel more comfortable in the situation. But simply write a question out, right? Like, what is in my best interest? If I'm faced with two different choices, which choice is the better one for me to, or which direction is better for me to go in at this time? And then whatever pops up, what how you feel, thoughts in your head, because that's usually how the communication comes, and we're just programmed to think that there are thoughts, so we're going to dismiss it. Write down what you think, what you hear, what you feel, what you see. Don't analyze any of it. Just simply write your question down and then whatever pops up as an answer, but pay attention to what you feel, what you hear, what you may internally see, or better yet, if you get distracted by something, write that down. And then go into your next question. Ask the question by writing that question down and allow yourself to write the answer without giving a thought on it, without you analyzing it. Just allow it to happen. It's a good practice for everybody to get into, and it'll also help you come into that greater alignment with your own higher power, right? Your true self. Okay? All right. So that was pretty cool. In the past and what supports you from behind. Tara, you got yes. So this is telling me that things, obstacles and challenges have been cleared off your path. So there might be something inside your mind that's like, I don't know if I really believe that, but they're telling me it's clear as day. So again, it's the ego is keeping you misaligned, and that's where the pressure's coming from. So just align yourself. That's it. Because right now you can trust. You can trust yourself. You can trust the energy that's surrounding you. Trust what you feel. Again, like I said before, if it feels right, it is. If it doesn't, it's not. It's not ever any more complicated than that. But we need to stop like overanalyzing everything, because then we disbelieve that first initial feeling that we get, which is pure intention, intuition. That's coming, that first feeling that we get is the intuition, which is coming from that higher guidance. When we start tuning into that and trusting that, then we're not going to falter in this life and have these other challenges that we tend to go through over and over, right? Yes, Kelly. Trust the process, right? That doesn't mean like you did blindly, you still got to use discernment, but that discernment is within yourself. Feel the truth of it. If it doesn't feel right for you, it's not. Okay? And if it does feel right for you, it is. But there's things that have been cleared in your path that are opening the doors for you right now so that you can trust. You can start to listen and work with this God-given power that is right at your fingertips. Okay, and then moving forward, you also got the crystals card, which is, have you ever worked with horses? Because they're showing me it would be a benefit for you to seek out an equine ranch. I think that's how you pronounce it, an equine ranch or equestrian ranch. Anyway, where horses are powerful, powerful healers. So going and connecting with somewhere local to where you are that has horses and works with humans to overcome traumas and, well, even physical things. They're just showing me that would be ideal. And that doesn't mean you get on them and ride them. Sometimes it's just being in their presence. They'll teach you how to work with it. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But also, work with the crystals that are around you as well. Okay? Because that energy is helping for you to make clearer connections with that higher guidance, your guides, and your own personal power. It's like, look at her hand. She's holding a crystal, but look at it all glowing. You've got it. You got everything you need at the tip of your fingers. Trust the process. Okay? Listen is in the bigger picture. Listen to that higher guidance. Okay? That pressure is going to go away when you start doing this. And using automatic writing is a good physical way to make this connection too. If you're using cards like I do is not your forte. Okay, and then you got One Ring Circus. That's interesting. There's another elephant in this deck here. One Ring Circus. So I'm reminded to Kelly saying, "Not my circus, not my monkey, not my circus." Yeah. Not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm really drawn to how high this person is up on this cliff that has the elephant, and then you're sitting on top of it. It's like you've got some kind of vantage point where you are right now, and I don't think you really realize what type of an opportunity is right in front of you. That's really quite interesting. I don't think I've ever pulled that card before. So let's see. I'm curious now. What did it say in the book? You are capable and competent. That's what it says right here. Independence is key now as you step into your journey today. Others may not have the vision or resources that you need. Recognize that all the wisdom you've acquired along the way makes you particularly competent, capable of moving forward with assurance. Self-reliance is important. Another aspect to consider is creating and maintaining clear boundaries between you and another. Be discerning about your partnerships at this time. When you know who you are and have a healthy sense of where you end and others begin, you're able to enter into the best kind of relationships and will attract people who mirror back your wholeness. Interdependent relationships are always mutually supportive, stimulating, and transformative. You can achieve anything at this time. Very cool. And then at the bottom of the deck of your reading here in the bigger picture, you also got encouragement. So we've seen encouragement pop up a couple of times now. And this one is in that bigger picture. So it is absolutely without a shadow of a doubt for everybody. So I am going to read it now from the book. 54. Encouragement. You are receiving a nudge in the right direction. I think maybe I did read this one already. Yeah, I did. But I'm going to read it again because apparently we all need to hear it again. This card tells you that you're being gently encouraged to step into your power, into the dream of your life. New things are out there to be explored, and the nurturing power of the universe is giving you a nudge in the right direction. You will get the help you need and won't be alone in your quest. Every step you take right now is supported by the wisdom of the universe. You're on the right path, so keep going. Woo, woo. Okay, I think now we've made it to Sandy. Sandy, are you still with us? You're very welcome, Tara. That was an amazing reading. All right. Sandy Nelson. All right. Can somebody type in for Sandy 122 for the timestamp in case she does pop on later? Sees it in the comments, then she knows where to fast forward for her reading. Please and thank you. Whoa. Interesting. Okay. Thank you, guys. I think Kelly's doing the whole telepathy with her right now. And thank you, Darla, for typing out her name, just in case she's not hearing it that way just yet. But I swear we're all gonna be online with this stuff, like more so within the next 10 years. I have no doubt. It totally will be, Darla. Yeah. Okay, so Sandy, in the bigger picture, the two messages that I've got is open your heart to love and coming apart. So, and of course, I said breaking, so that was I want to say Freudian slip or a spiritual slip. So, breaking apart or coming apart, whatever is happening in your life right now is necessary. I want to say it's necessary, this coming apart, in order for this new love, okay, a newfound love within yourself, and therefore new relationships moving forward and existing relationships. And when I say relationships, I'm not just talking about romantic ones. Relationships are are meant very loosely when I use that word, meaning it can pertain to any type of relation that you have. But there is a coming apart within a relationship that is necessary. I have no doubt about it with what I see here. Um, in order for you to be aligned with what you came here to experience. Okay. So in the past position and what supports you from behind, you got white buffalo calf woman with peace offering. So this card is the indicator of a prophecy fulfillment, and or some, sometimes it's like the karmic ties that we have. But this was tying up the loose ends from like past lives. Okay. And a peace offering taking place so that um, you are able to let it go in the present moment. It's important to let things go right now, um, because there's a clean slate. There's something bigger, brighter, and way more beautiful in alignment for you on the path. But if we hold on to those things and those ideas of what we thought were the best for us, and clearly they weren't, um, then we hold ourselves back from stepping into the very thing we actually do want, right? So you're currently in this current position or present moment, letting go of something, connecting to a past, like let bygones be bygones. Both, like whoever's involved in this, it's better to have peace than it is to continue going wherever it was going, because in the future you're going to see the silver lining. You're going to understand the blessings of what was happening, and it's going to blow your flipping mind in a beautiful way. Let me just make that clear. Right? Because of this card, right? Peaks of joy. You're going to be able to tap into and experience the magic that this life has to offer and that you did come here to experience. But again, spirit says that, the humans don't come down here to just live in a place of joy. That'd be very boring. And how do you know it's going to be joy if that's all there is? You came down here to live and experience in a contrast of all kinds of things in a world of duality, so that you know what it feels like on one end and then the other. You've got stuff to measure things by, right? And our experiences give us wisdom. We can't know the greatest love of all without the greatest heartache of all, right? And we signed up for this shit. We did. And if you've been through it, the ringers of all the things, then just know, like what I say, if the first half of your life has been a really rough then the last half of your life should be the best of your life. And that kind of logic sounds good to me. I'll sign up for that. Right? Okay, so Peaks of Joy, they want me to read that one for you from the book too, because it's a master number 33. And yes, like Darla said, look up the angel number 122 if you do come back and end up watching the replay here. This reading again was for Sandy Nelson. 33. Your life is filled with happiness, so share it with others. Joy is yours today. No matter what your inquiry, you will be happy with the results. Again, blessing in disguise for whatever it is that you are currently letting go of. And the trains are all horning again. You're coming closer to a sense of achievement and you've worked hard for it. You're surrounded by true companions and events that are synchronistically arranged to bring you the next level of your life. The world is singing a beautiful harmony. Life is exhilarating and hopeful. Let gratitude fill your heart and remember to share your happiness. 'Cause joy is contagious. Again, like I said before in the beginning of everything, the universe supports not what we want, but how we are, right? So, and it's up to us that if we want different experiences in our life, we have to change our vibrational operation. We have to change our energy. We have to align energetically with that which we want. And then the universe cannot help because it's here to support us no matter what, unbiasedly. Nothing is punishing us. If we are in a place where we're feeling like life is happening to us, it's because we're in that vibration. We're believing that we're not worthy and that we're not lucky and whatever the reasons are. But that energy is sending the signal out to the universe. This is where I'm at. So the universe is like, okay, here's what you get. We have to change from the inside out. Right? Yeah. We have to undo all these things that were taught to us. How to fit in boxes and think and be ways just to, be socially acceptable. I don't think we came here to do that. I know I didn't. Came here to break some molds. I'm pretty sure we all did. All right. John Curry, my friend, how are you? Okay. Just give me a second here. Ooh, I got a crack in my lower back there. Do you need to go see a chiropractor? Either that or something is shifting big time in your root chakra. Are you moving? Did you make that decision? Do you know where you're going? I've got a cold bug. Ah, so you're purifying on a whole nother level too. Okay. All right, let's see what the Ascended Masters say for John Curry. Yeah. John the Baptist. The first two cards that I saw totally made me think of that when we first met you. Okay. Ooh. Field of Dreams. Okay, I'm going to start with the Ascended Masters first. The first message for you, you got Merlin, energy healer, John the Baptist, right? So, this is in the past position, what supports you from behind. So, I want to say, like, call on the Ascended Master Merlin to work with you. Call in that Interesting. Call in that violet flame energy that Merlin and Saint Germain both work with, because that's powerful energy healing. It's like, open yourself up and heal yourself. You do have that power within yourself. So set the intention. Yeah, you got magic prayer as well. I'll get to that in a second. So you can light yourself up and place this over your head, your chest, to heal. Set the intentions. Ask for those ascended masters to come in and help you heal from what you're currently physically going through. Okay, and then in the present position, you got follow your heart. So open up that heart chakra. Very, very important, as we've talked about many times in the past, and this goes for everybody. When we start over analyzing things, we're not in the heart center. It's important to get out of the head, drop into the heart, open the heart, trust what you feel, but also hook back up to the mind so that you're working in tandem, mainly from the heart, but also with some logic to back it a little bit, right? But follow what you feel. Your heart is not going to lead you astray. Like I've said a few times already in this session, and I'll always be a broken record with this particular message. If it feels right, it is. Simple. If it feels wrong, it is. Simple. Trust, but you got to come from that heart space to trust what feels right for you, not anybody else. Moving forward, John, you got come out of the closet. Hence why I said John the Baptist. Right? You are a healer. We know this. You have some pretty cool and different type of abilities. But as long as you keep following your heart, you'll be able to show the world the real you, because you're also going to start understanding it more for yourself. Yes, you're that powerful. Okay. On the bottom of the deck in the bigger picture, meditate. So your meditation practices, however you do it, I want to say awareness practices, because meditate just means being fully present in the now moment, no matter how you're doing it. There's many different ways to meditate. It's not about shutting off your mind, right? It's about becoming present in the now moment and remaining there, right? That's what meditation is. So working with this energy, following your heart, coming out of the closet is your alignment to your higher power and working with everything that you have. And I want also going to be giving you the freedom that you are seeking. Holy crap, because look at, there's the power of joy sitting underneath there as well. Yep. First additional message of guidance, you got field of dreams. And all I'm hearing is the world is your oyster. So tap in. If you're not sure where to go, tap into your heart right now. Breathe into it. Pretend you're not sick, you're not clogged out. Just give yourself the permission to be a clear channel right here, right now. Breathe into the heart. And ask yourself the question, is it in my highest and best interest to move to Costa Rica? How does that light you up? Is there a little bit of a spark there? Or a big one? Just take note and then center yourself again. Okay. Breathe. Clear your head. Bring your focus to your heart. Breathe in again. And then ask, is it in my best and highest good to move to Mexico? And how does that feel? Did that light you up a little bit more than Costa Rica or a little bit less? Which one lit you up more? It's that simple. You get to choose, and you are learning how to choose what feels right for you. And flex that power. Start calling yourself out for who you really are. Okay, you and your last bigger picture message here, you got magic prayer. The birds are calling you to Costa Rica. Well, to be honest, when I was tapping in for you, I did feel more elevation energetically with Costa Rica than I did with Mexico. But again, at the end of the day, this is your life and your choice for yourself. Hey, Miss Shram. That's why I couldn't answer. I'm still live. Okay, so magic prayer. This is in John's higher self message, but this has been a higher self message for a couple of people. And no matter what the position, when it shows up a couple of times, it's for everybody, but especially in the higher self perspective, it is for everybody, no matter who's being read. So I'm going to read this from the book in its entirety, because I don't think I did read this one from the book yet. Maybe I did. I can't remember anymore. 32. Magic prayer. No, I haven't, because I would have remembered this. Speak your prayers. Listen for the answers. Act in faith. When you see the magic prayer card, it is a reminder that your prayers will be answered. Spirit is always waiting to help you and to heal you when you're in need. That said, the best prayer is, Thy will be done through me. Thy will and not mine be done. Conscious contact with your higher power is achieved through the ritual of prayer and meditation. Speak and listen to the divine force within the field of creation. Surrender your wishes and desires to Spirit. You may not get what you want, but you will surely get what you need. Your destiny awaits you. As long as you keep in conscious contact with your higher power, be assured that you are on the right path. Nicole, you showed up just in time. Your destiny awaits you, everybody. As long as you keep in conscious contact with your higher power, be assured you're on the right path. Oh gosh, like I said, I love what I do and I do what I love. And it's so awesome to be able to be in this position and share what I can when I can with all of you. You're very welcome, John. Man, I'm excited for you. Costa Rica, when you get all set up there, I'm going to have to come for a visit. Well, thank you, Darla. You know what you see in me, you have in you. Cool. All right. For those of you that just popped on a little bit later in the session, I highly recommend go back and watch the replay. There's lots of good channeled guidance for the collective in the very beginning. I channeled quite a bit before I pulled the cards for us. And then if you feel guided to listen to any of the other questions or private questions and answers, there was a lot of messages that came through, more guidance from our higher selves for everybody throughout the whole thing. So be open to receive what feels right for you and disregard the rest of it. There's nothing wrong. Allow yourself to have fun. And Spirit says, lighten up. Life is too short to get our knickers in a knot all the time. Let's try to have some fun. From my heart to yours, I love you so much, and I will be back as soon as I possibly can. If you need me for anything, though, feel free to reach out to me directly, and we can hook up a session anytime. All right. Until next time, keep shining bright, for you're all beautiful, shining souls and stars. Take care.